The old Don's office was just off one of the walkways above. I knew this is where he was going to make his last stand. This was where his guys would be waiting for me.
Prick!
Doesn't have to be this way, kid.
What's gotta be is gotta be.
Is this what I taught you, Philly?
You taught me the importance of tradition in the family.
I'm going out the way I came in.
Not unless you flew in through the windows.
that's the day I really proved myself to Philly. I proved my loyalty to him, and that's when I started getting sent on jobs where before, we normally send Eggs.
And Eggs was okay with that?
No way. See, over time, Eggs kind of distanced himself more and more from Philly and me, but we were way too busy to take much notice.
Didn't you guys have more trouble with the feds after Philly had bumped off the old man?
Oh, yeah. See, Philly wanted everyone to know that things were going to change. Now, ever since I'd collected the printing plates, the FBI had been watching us night and day, listening equipment, all that kind of stuff, from a building across the road. Philly wanted to send them a little message, and I was the delivery boy. This place had been a hangout for hookers as long as I could remember. After a few hands of cards and a bottle or two of Philly's best vino, some of the guys used to come over here to see the girls. Not me.
Hey, Joey. Want some business today?
Okay, maybe I'd been here once or twice before, but that was just business. The elevator was out of service, probably through overuse, but then again, this place had seen a lot of visitors. Feds had themselves up on the first floor of the building overlooking Philly's place in Little Italy, room 106. And the hookers, they were just helping the feds get through those long stakeouts away from the bureau. And their wives.
Hey, I was watching the fucking...
Apartment 106. This is where the feds had set up shop. I was just about to smash that machine to fucking little pieces when I heard a familiar voice. It was Eggs.
We got a problem. The trail's got cold again. This is taking a little longer than I thought. Well, you people covered their tracks too fucking well, so it's gonna take a little more time, okay? I honestly can't fucking believe you don't know where the fuck the goal was meant to end up. Alright, look, we need to keep this quiet, okay? The last thing we need is every mobster in town knowing that there's $1 million in gold just laying around somewhere waiting to be picked up. Okay, but don't need anyone snooping around where they're not wanted. Keep things quiet and I'll do the rest, capiche?
Now, I didn't know who Eggs was talking to, but I had a pretty good idea what he was talking about. The gold from back in Nam. Anyway, I didn't really have time to ponder the matter. Philly wanted the wiretap taken out of commission. His so-called little message.
Oh, man. I just had that girl over in 101. Who the hell? Freeze!
I told you before I thought the feds were using the Corellis to get to us. Well, it wasn't that way at all. I found out later that the Corellis were the ones in the driver's seat. And then the shit really hit the fan. The door out of the room had been fucking locked, and the only way out of there was up to the rooftops.
We need more backup!
We'd never exactly seen eye to eye with the Corellis, but even Philly couldn't have guessed that they would have sided with the feds. Come on, no fucking way this was a legit FBI operation.
Please don't kill me.
At the time, I wasn't sure which would be worse, getting caught by the feds or having to tell Philly that his message had been a little louder than he'd wanted it to be.
Back off, punk!
Sweet dreams, fucko. Come on, Joe, keep calm. Get across the rooftops into the next building.
What the? What the hell is that? Who's there? Where'd he go? Do you see him?
Come on, Joey. The bad guys ain't gonna call me looking or something.
We got him. Go, go! Get him! Get him!
Philly found out later that a deal had gone down between some bent feds and the Corelli family. The feds were on the take, and the Corellis were the ones doing the paying.
Don't let him get away!
It was time to get off the roof. Feds were all over the place, and if I didn't give them the slip soon, I was gonna run out of whatever luck I had left. Couldn't fucking believe it. Not only were the feds crawling all over the place, but to add insult to fucking injury, the elevator was out of service.
I got him! I see him!
so I casually walked on down to the street below. Large crowd of onlookers had formed below, giving me the perfect chance to slip away from there unnoticed. When I got back to the club after my run-in with the feds, Philly was really pissed.
I said a little fucking message, Joey, to tell the fuckers to mind their own fucking business. Instead, you start a small fucking war.
So after a whole lot of shouting, Philly tells me he had a contact who could make things right with the feds, but it was gonna cost, and he sure as hell wasn't gonna fucking pay. So a few minutes in a phone call later, Philly tells me I have to get $50,000 that night. Now, Philly later told me he'd been pissed not just because of my screw-up, but also because of the Orientals. You see, the Triad and a certain Jade Lee have been causing Philly a lot of fucking trouble. Now, one day, years before Philly took control of the family, he'd called me up.
Joey, I need you to do your thing again, kid. Those fucking Orientals ain't coughing up what's due. Get your ass down there and fix it, capiche?
Philly sent me to see a lot of people during the early years. I was his personal heavy, his persuader. If they wouldn't play ball, he sent me. Most jobs went nice and smooth, easy money. This one was gonna become a real thorn on the family side. Jade Lee. Beautiful and deadly. Now, Jade had been running the family business since her father passed away. Now, what most people didn't know was that Jade and the Triad controlled ever-increasing areas of New York.
I completely understand your situation, Mr. Virola. Indeed, I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude for the services you and your associates have provided. Unfortunately, this restaurant is under new management and your protection is no longer required. But please accept this small gift as a token of our gratitude.
At the time, Jade had no idea who the fuck she was messing with, but she learned soon enough. Well, it was clearly time to get the fuck out of there. Jade was obviously not willing to negotiate, and we hadn't exactly turned up expecting a war. When Jade's father, Chung Lee, had run things, he'd always toed the line. Always paid his dues. He didn't have any interest in making enemies out of the family. But Jade, now, she was a different fucking prospect altogether. Oh, she had big plans for the Triad and had no problem telling us exactly when we weren't welcome. See, Jade was an American, born and bred. The way she saw things, she had as much right to this turf as we did. In short, she was becoming a big fucking problem.
什么？把那个混蛋杀死！怎么回事？
There was no way I was getting out of there while Jade's guys were still crawling all over the joint. It was time to conduct some negotiations of my own. Now, it's not too often I found myself on the wrong side of a bar, but just for that day I was willing to make an exception.
才呢？
This is what happens when you fuck with us. And then after I'd spilt enough blood for one day, I figured it was time to make myself scarce. I didn't know it then, but that wasn't the first run-in I'd have with Jay Lee and the Triad.
So that Jade bitch got away from you.
You could say that. From that day, she gained more and more power in New York.
But what happened about the 50 grand to pay off the feds?
Oh, yeah, the payoff. Well, there comes a time in everybody's life when you make a decision. You're either in or you're nobody. Well, this was my time. Now, I had to get a hold of 50 Large that night to pay off Philly's contact and make things right with the feds. Now, maybe Philly figures I'm gonna go to the street for it, but forget it. That would have put me in a hole I'd never get out of. I had my own ideas.
New York Arena would proudly like to welcome all visitors to tonight's show.
I know what you're thinking. New York Arena? Why, you lost your fucking marbles, Joey? Well, not exactly. The security in the arena were all on the Corelli's books. Fuck, some of these guys were Corelli's, born and bred. Fact is, the Corellis practically run this place. And since they caused me a lot of fucking trouble recently, I thought it was only fitting that they were the ones who paid up. Okay, people, drop to the floor. Let's make this nice and quick.
Listen to the man, you fuckers, and do exactly as Mr. Tiger says. Now let's have the cash from the safe and we'll be out of here. You there, be nice and go open the safe for my friend there. Come on, Joe, grab the cash and let's finish this job.